something nice. If you want something nice and fresh after your injera, then the leaf which is coming around, not the alicos, but the next one.
Sorrow.
The alicos isn't poisonous, it's just not.
Sorrow,
It's a song.
No,
it's good. It's very surprising. Did you have them?
I didn't.
Okay, a couple of my favourites here. This is Juneberry, this one here, another North American one. Fantastic blossom early in the spring, absolutely dripping in white blossom. Great autumn colour, as you can see. And then in June it has really tasty raisin flavoured fruit, sort of size of raisins. So, and it also doesn't cast too much shade, so there's lots of scope for growing perennial plants underneath. So here we've got, this is an Angelica which is growing through. That's used to flavour some French liqueurs and also to make cake decorations when it's candied. The one which will kill you is this one with the berries. Is this one with the berries. That's American pokeweed. But like many plants, if you treat it right, it's good to you. So Native Americans take the berries, make it into a paste, dry it in the sun, and that neutralises the toxins. And the leaves, if they're boiled up, and in the States they're canned and sold as poke salad. And if there are any Elvis fans, you'll know that in the 70s, one of his sets was a song called Poke Salad Annie. So culture, plants, that kind of relationship that's gone out throughout history. It's also interesting that in Australia they use the berries to make an antidote to snake bite, and pharmaceutical companies are using it as a cure for HIV/AIDS. Well, they're doing research into a cure. So, you know, something which will kill you by undermining your immune system can also, maybe used in the right way, can also be a medicine. Through here, also have a look at this one with these lovely vines. This is a Chinese yam. So it's a member of the yam family, sweet potato, but it's hardy and has a huge, great tuber full of carbs under the ground. So if you're wanting something a bit more exotic, looks lovely, beautiful leaves, beautiful vines, and also productive. So something to try out in your garden. I think how we do for time? You don't care. Yeah.
And how many people involved and how you found out about load bearing issues and that sort of thing.
Okay. We did a lot of research. So the question is, what happened? How did it all happen? So when we were looking into creative solutions to a leaking roof, and part of the funding package was you know, that a roof garden was a lot more sexy and attractive than to roll the roofing felt. So the whole garden cost 50,000. We would have had to spend 25,000 anyway. It all came from the lottery, and so all the hard landscaping, the pains of the design, the plants, railings, all that kind of stuff was another 25,000. So it's not cheap. Yeah? It sounds, you know, a roof garden like this is very attractive in the idea, but there's lots of reasons not to do it. Least of which is, you know, you have to stop people from falling off. If you're 5 stories high, what are you going to do to stop your apples hitting people underneath? You know, there's lots of really practical things like that. And the most important thing is, where are you going to get the water? Although we harvest all the water from the plot and from the surrounding roofs, we've got water butts which will take 2,000 litres. We can't store it within the footprint of the building because we just don't have the space. And so, for example, in 2006, it doesn't rain for 6 weeks, the water goes in 2 or 3 days using our irrigation system. You'll see there's drip irrigation system going through these beds. It's simply not sustainable. Luckily, you know, we could top up our tank using hose pipes. But with climate change, it's not sustainable because, you know, it won't be too long before we have standpipes in the roads and this garden dies. So we're going to dig a huge, great system in the car park and then harvest. We can harvest enough water, we just can't store it. So for anybody who's interested in edible green roofs, the biggest thing after obviously, you know, does the structure hold the weight? the biggest thing after that is water, because with climate change especially, it's not sustainable if you're having to use mains water. Unless you're prepared every so often, if you have a drought, then you don't get any production off your roof. But if you can store it, then you've got a solution. Yeah?
So can I just clarify, so you said 50 grams for the garden and then 25
No.
on top altogether?
Yeah, altogether 50. So half, 25,000 to mend the roof, 50,000 for the additional garden and stuff.
Yeah.